Okay, let's move on to the Arroyo Rio project. This project started out when we produced the super form, which we originally called the Rio. And I wasn't sure how the gene worked initially, but it does turn out to be a codominant gene. So we kind of did things a little different with the naming, and we named the heterozygous form after we named the homozygous form. And so the base form is called the Arroyo, and that's what these are. If you breed Arroyos together, you get Rios. These are a couple nice ones we produced this year, and you know, they have a lot of the same thing going on that the Rios do, in just a little less extreme version. You know, you can see we've got this neat stripe with all these little islands going on. Also, we get this kind of a melted side pattern, especially toward the end of the tail. And they also have their own kind of a coloration, you know, kind of a deep, rich, brick reddish coloration. Just an exciting project. This year, I didn't try to produce a lot of the Rios. I'm really excited about the long-term prospects of this project. I didn't want to compromise things by batching the genetics up too tight, so we went toward moving the gene into a lot of other mutations this year. So we've got some cool new stuff, but we didn't produce any Rios this year. I think in 2013 we probably will. We've got a couple Arroyo females that are now getting some size on them that aren't so closely related to the Rio males that we produced in 2010. So this is an Arroyo lesser pastel, and he's also possibly inchy. We bred an inchy lesser pastel male to an Arroyo female, and you can see that it, you know, he's got the stripe going on, a couple little islands, and he's also going to this nice reduced pattern toward the tail. His colors are just really nice, very intense. We're very happy with the way this turned out, and I think once we get to the super form with these same genes, it's going to be intense. And it's a male, so. This guy is an Arroyo Inchi, and the colors are fairly subtle on him. I thought I'd show you an Inchi with him to give you some contrast. He's almost got kind of a greenish hue to him, and you can see that the Inchi and the Arroyo they're kind of different. They want to do different things to the pattern, and so the pattern is not too intense. You can see a little bit of striping along the back, one or two little islands there. I want to show you the colors on the margins of this guy. Really pretty. So, we've got a couple different future combinations there. We can make a super Inchi Arroyo, or the super form of the Arroyo, the Rio Inchi, or possibly both supers. So he is one step in a process that I think is going to lend some really beautiful animals. This is an Arroyo Mystic, and it really nicely combines both morphs. You can easily see both in this snake. It's got the stripe thing going on, a couple little islands there, and it also has that melting pattern toward the end of the tail, especially on this side. And again, this is a nice snake to have to start with, as there is a super form of both of those genes. So there's at least 3 other looks to this thing that hopefully we'll see in the next couple of years. I did produce 2 of them, and they're kind of different looking from one another. This one hatched out of the same clutch, and you see this little granite-y stuff going on, and a lot of the Arroyos have this granite business happening. She's also got a nice stripe there, some of the little island action going on, and really bright colors. And this is a pair, so pretty exciting. And these are Arroyo Calicos. Not real intense as far as the calico aspect goes, but you can easily see both traits in the snakes. Calicos tend to want to be blackbacks, like the sugars also, and these don't have any of that going on. There's essentially striping all the way down, a couple little islands on the pattern on these, and the color is a whole different shift. I've got a calico here to show you with them that is about the same grade, I would say, of calico, and I don't know if it'll show up in the video, but there is definitely a difference in the Arroyo coloration in comparison, especially this snake. You get more of that brick red kind of thing coming through, and you can see, this snake tends to want to have the black back going on. So it'll be interesting to see a calico Rio. These are Arroyo Fireflies. They look a little different than the one I produced last year. Last year's was a much more striped version, but I really like these. The pattern is nice and crisp. It almost seems three-dimensional with the way the shading and blushing happens with them. You can see this guy's got some of the classic island and the stripe thing going on. And this one really has a lot of that melty business happening. This is the overlap of both of these projects. It's an Arroyo Het Black Lace. And I was very impressed with how well the 2 genes integrated together. You've got the neat, rich, reddish colors of the Arroyo Rio gene, and then it also the stripe is more accentuated. It's almost a full stripe. I only see one break there. And it's got a couple little mini islands in the stripe going on. But you know, this is another snake that I think once we get to the homozygous versions of both those genes together, we're going to see some really dramatic stuff. Gorgeous animal. This is an Arroyo pastel, and it's pretty much what you would expect it to look like. You know, the pastel tends to break patterns up, it seems like to me. You know, it's not just a color. The pastel definitely does do things to the pattern. But you've got this little squiggly, narrow stripe going down the back. A couple little islands there. Pretty girl. Now this snake is actually one that we hatched in 2011. We didn't hatch just a plain Arroyo Fire this year, but I really like the way those two genes come together, and her head has just become seriously blushed out. You know, she continues to get lighter in typical Fire fashion, but her stripe is almost complete. She's got, you know, the cool melting going on. Beautiful animal. I definitely want to produce some other combinations, including both those genes.